Welcome to Sakura-Con 2004.
Sakura-Con is like a mecca for anime fans and for people who tend to be outside of mainstream culture, where we gather and we have totally different ways of interacting at the con, interacting with the con. But we're basically people outside of mainstream culture. Not all people who go to Sakura-Con and to anime cons, for that matter, are hardcore anime fans or even anime fans. There are all sorts of social functions that happen at the convention. You have gamer tables where people are doing tabletop games.
But I killed you! Oh, yes.
You have video game arcade rooms. You have like social functions, dances. There's 50 million things to do. As long as you've got some interest in Japanese culture, or in anime, or in manga, comic book form, basically, of anime, there is something to do all the time.
I cosplay because I really like the drama part of it. I like dressing up and acting like I'm not myself. It makes me more outgoing for some reason.
I have gone to Sakura-Con for the last 5 years, my major anime convention, and I've been in costume every year that I've gone. Cosplay is a Japanese term given for the American words costume and playing, as in acting. Basically, it's when you dress up as a character from either an anime or any movie, anything really, and kind of run around half in character and interacting with people almost as though you're that character.
Cosplay is a chance to act out the scenes of your favorite characters from anime. You can be anybody you want to, and it doesn't really matter. Race, sex doesn't really matter. You're just doing a character. And you get to entertain people, and you get to yourself, you like do a little ad lib, like a little freedom.
It's just kind of a fun masquerade, you know, either at parties or at conventions like this. It's just kind of an excuse to, you know, kind of dress up as someone else and be someone else and kind of have fun with it, you know. And, you know, you can also interact with a lot of people and, you know, share interests, and, you know, it's a great social thing.
I like cosplaying because, you know, you get attention, you know, you get to go around and just be someone else, you know. You get to play the character that's already been set out, and you can modify it to who you are. It's almost like people know you, and it's a chance to say, oh yeah, I'm just as this character, but you know, I like them because of this, and so you get to know the person behind the cosplay as well.
There's such a wide variety of different personality types of characters. People can really relate to them and even see images of themselves in all these different characters, and I think that's really special to people.
Cosplay is just an opportunity to kind of take a departure from yourself, you know, kind of take up another persona for a day and really feel like, you know, you're someone else, you know, for just a small amount of time. And you get to meet new people through this venture, you know, and you get to really work on an outfit and like over a whole period of time for like a year and bring it to a convention, and people get to see you and get excited and say, hey, you're that character, and take your picture, and it's just very kind of exhilarating.
It's fun. I mean, how many times you get to dress up as characters? It's just kind of like Halloween, but for 3 days.
For this being my first convention, it's this big. Honestly, I'm having a blast. This is the second day I've been here, and I've probably gotten like 2 hours of sleep.
First year that this con was at the Hilton, I went just wearing my normal everyday clothes, which, you know, involve a button-up shirt, a tie, and a pocket protector. And these two women actually thought I was cosplaying as a character from Cardcaptor Sakura. I'm like, no, I'm not cosplaying at all. So I figure, you know, better to actually put on a costume and have people figure out who it is than just make assumptions.
I love when I dress up, I get to see people laugh, they smile, and be like, oh my God, and they like smile. And I get to see people smile and laugh, and there's like a certain high about it. And people say like, you have so much energy, and I get this energy from seeing people laugh and have fun. And for me, it's a good feel of seeing people happy, being happy.
You've also got the vendors. The vendors are kind of their own culture in of itself. Most of them are anime fans. They've got their own take on the con. Often the vendors will cosplay, dress in the costumes also, and get really into it, because we're all anime fans there.
One of the most fun things about these anime conventions are the cosplay kids. They go all out. You have these people, usually young, you know, who spend all year making these elaborate costumes by hand, and then coming to the convention to show them off. They create their own world, and they can externalize their individuality, and yet the way they're doing it, like with these cosplayers, is they're externalizing their individuality by looking like something else, which I think is absolutely fascinating. I started getting interested in the toy business. I collected toys, and it was hard to find a lot of my favorites, and so I decided to start buying them through a distributor just so I could get them. And then when I had too much stock, I decided what the heck, I'd start selling. Sakura-Con is coming up in a couple days, and so we're trying to prep for that. We have, again, just one small table, and we want to make sure we're bringing what we'll sell and not overloading ourselves. And so we're kind of trying to pick through everything and find out exactly what we have and how much we can bring. Oh, brother, please tell me that you wrote the shipping method on.
No, I didn't.
We get along pretty good, about 95% of the time. We have our big blow-ups whenever I go up to Seattle to visit him. We have our one big fight, but it blows over pretty fast. We're both just pretty strong-willed, and we like things the way we want them, and we're totally different people. We do things totally different ways, and we each think we're right, but I always am.
Did you pull up the U-Haul thing?
I printed it out and handed it to you.
No, you did not.
And you walked away. So as far as day-to-day working with Ronnie is concerned, we really get on each other's nerves a lot. And I get really pissy with her, and she gets really irritated with me, and yet we're always able to come back the next day and continue working. All right, let's go downstairs. I would say anime is definitely one of the largest and fastest growing sectors in geekdom, I would say. What a lot of outsiders don't realize is that you can separate geeks into one of, I guess, three major areas. You have the comic book geeks, you have the science fiction, Star Trek geeks, and you have the anime geeks. I've always been fascinated with Japan. Early on, it was a kind of a primal thing, it was underneath the skin, kind of just a longing to maybe be Japanese, and I can't even really pinpoint why or where it started. But there's a lot of stuff in this box I didn't realize I had.
Jason does have some difficult work habits to deal with. I think that, you know, the most obvious, the primary one is cleaning up after himself. You know, he gets started on things and then he gets sidetracked and he just, you know, drops whatever he had wherever it was and he never puts it back.
The true anime geek And you really can't say anime anyway, because it's anime, it's manga, it's the whole character culture. Some of these people get the comics as soon as they come out in Japan, even if they can't read them, and they're into these characters. And so they'll go dressed up as some character that you've never even heard of before, and then 2 years later you'll finally figure out who they came dressed as.
Yeah, so usually I wake up in the morning just looking like myself, normal Haley. It takes a good hour to get through the process of fixing myself up, putting on the mask.
I have this bad habit of not wearing my costume and the makeup and everything completely until the convention.
The costume that I'm putting on right now is actually for a live-action RPG. It's a kind of a thiefy rogue character. His name's Roger. He's a fox. I'll be putting on the makeup after I've got the costume on because it takes forever to get on and off. So I figured I might as well do it first. If you're gonna be here and with a bunch of other people who are dressing up and doing the whole anime fan, you might as well go gung ho and all out for it.
Hey, is this you? Your eyes? Okay, look directly at me. That one's curved a little bit more, but look okay. That one looks thicker.
Need to start getting my red makeup-y stuff on, so I was just looking for a mirror space where I can wash. Or, like, actually, does anybody have a little mirror? I can kind of start this just over the bathtub.
When you cosplay, the way the structure works, you've got your cosplayer, and you've got your help. Usually you have help if you're building a complicated costume. Not always. I do it on my own, but like Carmen will have teams of people helping her because she picks the hardest costumes on the face of the earth to do.
Oh! How does this stay on? Do we remember?
Combs.
Combs. Oh, why don't you do those? It's rather hard to get bobby pins to this matted hair, you know that?
Oh, sorry, that's scalp. That's the scalp.
There we go.
Glad you guys oh my god, you look great! See?
Okay, you look okay? The ears?
It looks really good.
The wig kind of fell down.
Yeah, it makes the ears look more real.
Alright. Alright.
Don't worry.
But you always have those people that are creative and know how to do this stuff and will help you out.
When I'm dressed up in my cosplay attire and at the convention, I feel very accomplished. I like to see how everything comes together, and I think that I have made this costume the best that I can, and it looks exactly like the character. I do feel sometimes like a celebrity, like if I have a really good costume and you walk down the hallway and everyone wants to take your picture. It's really a lot of fun. You just get stopped every 5 feet for a new picture and you get to pose and everyone compliments you. It's a really big self-esteem kick. I became interested in anime when one of my friends introduced it to me. They were all watching Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z on like Cartoon Network or whatever it was on. So I started watching it and it wasn't that great. And then they started dressing up in costume. And I've always thought that costumes were a really fun thing to do and, you know, any excuse to wear a costume. So I dressed up with them. And then I got into anime because more cool costumes.
I think that for the majority of the cosplayers, they're expressing their creativity more than trying to actually portray a character. I think they just enjoy the character so much and they are expressing that, hey, I can make this look good too.
So you got your cosplayer, you got your help, you got your photographer, you got your fans, and it kind of builds into this culture where everyone supports one another.
There's just a lot of variety. People put a lot of time and effort into their costumes, be it anime, video games, or J-rock, and like I just love taking their pictures. They put that much time and effort and money into it. The best I can do is just get a lot of their pictures. I just go to conventions and take a lot of photos.
The reason that cosplayers go to the convention is to mill the halls. We're the hall hunters. We walk around, usually, you know, all day, until very late at night, just talking to each other, finding stuff to do. I've never felt bored a single minute at the convention, and I have such a hard time sleeping because there's always someone to talk to, someone to take my pictures, someone to, I don't know, just kind of play with.
Oh, look how cute these are.
What is it?
It's a hook with this cat bus.
Darling. For a 5-year-old. What are all these? Do these just have to go up here?
I have no idea. No, I think he pulled them down so we could put more stuff up, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on, to be honest with you. So there.
Okay, well that leaves me a lot of direction.
Last year I did karaoke and we did a song from a rather obnoxious little anime called Full Moon Osagashite. And it has adorable costumes though, which is why I made a costume from that show. And there is a song that was very catchy, and so a group of friends and I, and Haley, put together a routine. It was a lot of work because we had to figure out all what moves we were going to do with the song, and we had to learn the song in Japanese. And then we had to sing it on cue and all work together. The karaoke contest though, I would say watching it is incredibly boring. Unless you're participating in it, and even then you're just kind of waiting for everyone else to go through so you can go and get it over with, because by that time you're so hyped up on nerves that you just want to get it over with and get up there and do it or die or do something.
At Sakura-Con, a fellow named Nick is kind of the head goth. I'm not sure how that started. He does karaokes every year where blood spouts from him and he screams in Japanese, and I think that's how it started.
So with karaoke, you know, I always watch people sing and everything, and they just kind of stand there, look kind of nervous and stuff like that. And you know, me, I do that too sometimes, but then when I really get into it, I just start swinging around and you know, everything. Whenever I do get into it, I just kind of, I know what I'm doing, but then I don't know at the same time. Like if you see me just kind of like choking myself or ramming the microphone on my chest, it's because I'm just getting really into it. I'm a guy. If you got a lot of stress in your life and you just keep it inside and you let it out, I let it out through music or whatever I do. So that's just kind of like everything that was getting to me. I'm just letting it out and just belting it out in front of a bunch of people, exposing myself completely. Oh, yeah.
My definition of otaku is just if you're absolutely insane about anime.
Some people think otaku means anime fan, like any anime fan like me. Otaku refers to people who are kind of overweight and smelly like anime. And you do have those.
There's people that make anime and Japanese culture just their entire lifestyle. And, you know, me, I love Japanese culture, I love Japanese music, I love, you know, Japanese anime and stuff like that. But I know when there's a time for me to do other things and stuff like that. But if they make it their every single day motive just to, you know, do anything Japanese or anything like that, you know, it's just kind of a little overbearing.
I know what it's like to have a major obsession like that, and you want to surround yourself with it. And that's what I do. I surround myself with things like that.
It's got to be interesting to be a subculture of a subculture. Anime, until very recently, was pretty much underground, and to be a cosplayer in that world was even more of a niche.
I mean, you'll have the standard otaku, which is kind of the big smelly guy. I don't know why I associate it with smelly. Maybe it's because the term otaku funk, that's where that came from. Because when you have a whole bunch of otaku in a room, it starts to smell really funky. Yeah, those don't make up a majority of the anime fans, though. They're the stereotype.
You walk down the hallway, it's crowded, it's a bunch of people in costumes, and they've been running around all day, and it smells awful.
Me and Chris, we were talking about it. We wanted to get cans of Febreze and cover it in white tape and write "Otaku be gone" on it.
But you get those certain sign people who don't take baths all their lives, and whoa, that's an otaku funk. Or you get those people who like never seen a girlfriend before. That's an otaku drooler.
You buy a bunch of stuff, you put it in your bathtub, and you don't shower all 3 days throughout the hill. That's an otaku right there. Shower, damn it.
Thank you.
Let me get you a sack for that too.
Did you stop with the super glue?
Who needs a beating with the yaoi paddle? You want to hit your friend? Go ahead and give her a friend a whack with the yaoi paddle first. This is for prosperity.
Yaoi, so I've been told, because like I said, I haven't gone anywhere near the booth because he harasses everyone who walks by. But it's gay manga, which is like Japanese comic book.
They're so hot, they're flaming. The pants come down, the smiles come up.
There's also a cosplay contest where you create like a play, maybe a 5-minute skit with your characters, and you try to make it funny, and if you're really lucky, you might end up winning the cosplay award or something, and it's broadcast on closed circuit television throughout the hotel.
I think I will give to you my oldest daughter. She is beautiful, luscious. Oh, the epitome of all that is wonderful in this world. Oh, Mari, my daughter, come here.
Are your eyes dry, red, and itchy?
Oh, Sailor Moon, the moonlight is so romantic, but not as beautiful as you.
I just wanted to say those ropes look really good on you.
Why, thank you.
But baby, they look even better on my bedroom floor.
I think the major draw in anime is the potential. Because in anime, you can do anything. You know, it's like, you know, literature with pictures. You know, like moving pictures. So instead of, you know, having the image in your mind and saying, well, you know, I don't really know what that would look like, you know, you're being shown it and it's wonderful and glorious.
The draw of anime is much like any other fandom. In fact, anime to Japan is what Hollywood is to America. It just depends on where your interests lie. Because anime can range from children's shows to serious dramas or action or fantasy, political thrillers, basketball, car racing, you name it. It's a medium of entertainment.
There's just something about anime that, I don't know, just makes you, or can just appeal to you in a way that, like, you feel connected with it, sort of.
Musicals. You could have whole musicals in anime. And, you know, I think it's represented also in Western animation. But with Japanese animation, it's like it reaches its full potential because it's more societally acceptable to like cartoons.
I think it's kind of sad in a way that anime is becoming so mainstream because they're going to have to find something else. Because with people, with fringe dwellers like that, when something gets too popular, it's not worth doing anymore. And anime is becoming so popular now that they're gonna have to find other outlets.
I guess going to Japan was what broke me of my obsession with anime. Before I went there, you know, I had a lot of odd ideas about Japanese culture. And when I went there, I realized that not all Japanese girls were hyperactive, giggly, pink-haired people. Not that I thought that, but there are a lot of stereotypes in anime that aren't reflective of the culture. And Japan ends up being portrayed like some sort of utopia.
I used to be more of a fan of anime because I had the idea that anime as a whole was going to be really good. But the more I watched, the more I realized that a lot of it was really repetitious. And I settled on a few anime that I really like.
I don't watch anime anymore. I used to love anime. I was just fascinated by it. And now, 20 years later, I really don't care about it. Anime, to me, it's just another medium. It's just, you know, it's like saying, do you like comedies? Yeah, I like comedies. You know, there's some really great comedies, and there's some mostly really, really stupid comedies. With anime, you know, every once in a while you get a movie that will blow you away, or a series that's just fascinating or funny, but it's just like anything else now.
And I realized that most of the people in Japan aren't obsessed with anime. They just watch it the way we would watch Friends. And you don't see people here who are like, I'm going to dress as Joey at the Friends convention. I mean, that would be retarded.
I can imagine actually that a lot of people end up misconceiving cons, especially with the whole cosplay bit, you know. Think of, like, you know, you're pathetic pretending to be someone else, or you know, it's just stupid or whatever. And that's really not what cosplay is about. Think of it like a bit of a crafts fair, you know. And that's what cosplay is it's more of a craft. It's a little thing that people build as a hobby, like, say, a model, you know. They can also build a costume.
A lot of people have the misconception that this is just a bunch of, like, geeks that are running around here and, like, talking with their squeaky voices and living in their parents' basements, and that's really not what most of these people are doing. A lot of them who have the really nice costumes, they spend a lot of work doing these things, and they're probably very successful doing other things as well.
Anime fans are just like regular people. And usually people in general, they see anime fans like, oh my god, he's a loser. I bet he still lives with his parents in the basement. And I admit, there may be some who are like that.
It must be very nice for a person like that to go into a place and be recognized for being something that they're not, but also for something that they've done. They've created this costume, these elaborate costumes, and to be completely accepted for both of those things.
A lot of people, whenever they think, you know, oh, it's a convention, you know, it's just a bunch of geeks and they're all like stupid and ugly and fat and all that bullshit. In all honesty, there's, you know, a lot of brilliantly beautiful people there. You know, there's people that are fat, thin, you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, God, I've seen the most beautiful women here ever. And, you know, they're like, oh, I model. And I also like anime and video games and I'm a major geek. I'm like, cool, fine by me.
I'd say really outside of the hobby, they're fairly normal. I'm sure that there are some people who are just strangely obsessive about it. But they're more the exception than the rule.
Anime is kind of a different life. It's a lifestyle, I guess. It can be a small hobby. It can be the center of your world.
Cosplay is a way that makes you stand out in kind of a crazy, nerdy, but incredible way.
The people at the conventions, generally from what I've seen, are so accepting because you all always have something to bond with them. You know, even if you don't know them, you're always going to have something to talk about. You're going to have something that you like.
I think anime and the people that are into anime are very bright and charming people, and that other people shouldn't be so harsh to criticize. And it's just a fun hobby, and people need to be a little more lighthearted about it.
They're just regular people who have fun, and they find their fun through anime. And if you really want to find out about it, give it a try.
Yeah, I just like it because it's just a big gathering of all these neat people. And new people. I love meeting the new people too. They're just great. Except for the ones that are really creepy and just kind of pop. You know?